George here with Jungle Disk, and I wanted to do a quick video on how to back up your QuickBooks desktop version. Now, the QuickBooks that I currently have is a Desktop Pro 2018, so the steps may differ if you do have a different version. So this is going to be a two-step process. The first step is going to be configuring the backups in QuickBooks to a location on your computer, and the second step is going to be configuring Jungle Disk to back up those files. So to do the first step, make sure you have QuickBooks open, and we're going to go to File, Backup Company, and create a local backup. On this pop-up, it's going to ask you if you want to do the online or local. We're going to go ahead and leave it on local and select that if it's not, and then click on Next. If this is the first time you're doing this, I usually recommend to click on Save It Now and then schedule future backups, so that way we get that first initial backup right now. Then we'll hit Next. Now in here, it says Save Backup Copy automatically when I close my company file server. I think the default was 3 times. I set it to 1 time. It really depends on you on how often you want it to happen. There's also some options in here. These options here are pretty much asking you where are you going to put that data when you close your company file. So I browsed the location, and for this example, I created a folder on my desktop called QB Backups for QuickBooks Backups. So I have the data going in there for when I close QuickBooks, version automatically gets backed up into there. For the option that says limit the number of backup copies, I have it set to 3, but you can put whatever you'd like. If you're not familiar with this, this just means that after that 4th copy gets saved, that first one out of those 4 is going to get deleted. Now when I hit OK, it's going to give me a pop-up. And all this pop-up is saying is that we are choosing a destination that also has our desktop software. So QuickBooks doesn't want you to do that because it wants you to keep a copy somewhere else, because that's kind of the purpose of this. But that's what we're using Jungle Disk for in this example. We're going to go ahead and click on Use This Location and then have Jungle Disk back that up to that offsite copy. So what we just set up is for when we close the company file. Down here is where you would schedule the future backups. I already have one created, but if you don't, you would select New. And if you hit New, you're going to get something similar to what I already have here that's already filled out. So you would give it a description. I just called it QB Backups. The location, I chose the same location that's on my desktop for when I close my company file. I have it set to keeping 5 copies, and I have it set to back up at 7 a.m. every day of the week. You also see the option for store password. This is for when the backups run, it may ask for it, and if you already have that stored, it won't need it again. Once you hit OK, you'll just click on Finish, and it's going to let you know that the backups have been scheduled, so you'll hit OK. And because of the option that we selected earlier, it's going to do a backup right now. So it's going to tell me that because of that option I selected, that there has been a saved backup copy to that folder. And I'll just hit OK. Now because I've done this before, I'm going to get another pop-up. You may not get this though. So this one is saying, going back to that number of copies that I should have, I have it set to no more than 3. So right now there's 4, so it's asking if I want to delete that oldest one. So I'm going to just set yes, delete. And that's it on the QuickBooks side. Now for the Jungle Disk side, you'll go ahead and open up your Jungle Disk software. We'll click on Configure. Expand the online disk that you want to have the data backed up to. Expand the backup job. And under the What to Backup section, I already have it selected, but this is where you would click on Add or Change Backup Folders. And then you'll just follow the path of where you have that location backing up your QuickBooks files. When you hit OK, it'll then tell you how many files and the total size. And you'll just hit OK. Now, at the time that we have it configured already for our backups, it'll run and also back up that data. Now you're all set to have your QuickBooks files backed up using Jungle Disk. In the event you do need to restore, there is this Restore Files here. So let's just say that the company file you have is not the correct one, and the backups that you currently have do not reflect the version that you need. You can always come here to Restore Files, select the online disk where you have the QuickBooks backups going to, select the backup vault and hit OK. It's automatically going to have the most recent backup, but you can back up as of and select the date that you have that version that you want. So for instance here, if I come to my most recent one, you will see I have those 10 files that are in that folder right now. But if I go back and let's say I need that very first one, this is the first backup that I ever ran and I only had 2 files in there. So if one of those files is the one that I'm going to, that would be then the one that I would want to restore. It will add the file to the original local folder, which is the QB backups that I have selected here. Once it's restored, you'll then be able to go into that file and get the version that you want and open it up with your QuickBooks. I hope that you found this video useful. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or concerns, and please make sure to visit jungledisc.com for more information on how to keep your business protected.